Can you guess what all these people have in common? Michael Phelps, Oprah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Katie Ledecky, Will Smith, and Conor McGregor. They all credit much of their success to visualization. What is visualization? How does it work? Is there any scientific evidence proving that the simple act of visualizing the life of our dreams can actually make it real? How can visualization help us improve ourselves, our relationships, our health, our finances, our well-being, and help us achieve the things we know we have the potential for? Welcome to Mind Hacks TV. This is Program Your Mind for Success, the science of visualization. In 2009, researchers from Harvard asked a group of musicians to play a simple sequence of piano notes, and they scanned their brains in the regions associated with their finger muscles. Then they asked them to visualize playing the same sequence. The same areas activated whether they play the piano or imagine playing it. Hundreds of scientific studies have proven that when we imagine something, we activate the same parts of the brain as when we actually do the things. In another study, researchers asked basketball players to practice free throws. Group A practiced on the court. Group B practiced mentally, and Group C didn't practice. The group that didn't practice saw a 0% improvement, as we'd expect. The group that practiced on the court improved 24%, and the group that mentally rehearsed improved 23%. I've used visualization to improve myself and every aspect of my life. It's the most important skill that I've ever learned because I can apply it to anything I want to achieve. Last week, I mentally rehearsed being full of patience before boarding a 12-hour flight with my toddler who can't stay still, and I'm really glad I did. I visualize before getting on stage so I'm calm and confident. I visualize before important meetings to decide how exactly I want them to go. I visualize walking away from foods that I know I shouldn't be eating. And I visualize before every rugby game to get myself in the right mindset. A couple of years ago, I used visualization to overcome social anxiety. I used to be terrified of meeting new people. I had a really hard time making new friends, asking women out, and attending networking events for work. These days, I genuinely love meeting new people, and I feel very comfortable in any kind of social setting. I still don't ask women out, but that's mostly because I suspect my wife would have a problem with that. How exactly did I overcome my social anxiety? Every day for a few weeks, I would lie down, close my eyes, and mentally rehearse being sociable. Visualizing is actually quite simple, but I want to make sure that you avoid some of the most common mistakes people make. I created the 10 laws of visualization to help you master this skill quickly. I'll go over each of these laws first, but then I'll give you a link so you can download the document. This way you don't need to write everything down right now. Be positive. Visualize what you want, not avoiding what you don't. Visualizing not playing with my phone doesn't help me because it doesn't tell me what I need to do instead. I need to replace that behavior with a new one. So I need clear instructions. Take a deep breath, smile, and look around. Be prepared. We need to be prepared for any obstacles that might get in our way. I identified that for me, it was taking out my phone to deal with my social anxiety. So I programmed a new response and rehearsed it so many times in my head that when it happened in real life, I knew exactly what to do. I didn't even have to think about it. It was an automatic response. Be immersed. We need to immerse ourselves in the realities we imagine. Playing a mental movie isn't enough. We need to embody the emotions too. If we say something but don't feel the emotions associated with that statement, we're not going to believe it. If I say, I love meeting new people, but I'm all anxious, the words alone are not going to do the trick. We need to rehearse feeling the joy as we meet new people. Joy and anxiety can't coexist. When we feel joy, gratitude, or love, there's no room for anxiety, fear, or hatred. Try it for yourself. See if you can feel love and hatred at the same time. It's not possible. We need to feel the emotions and we need to hold on to them. We need to give them enough time to enter our body and expand until we're in that emotional state that is in alignment with the words that we're saying. This way, we're training our body to feel what it's like to be the person we're becoming. Be specific. I didn't just visualize a picture of me in a room full of people. I visualized all the details too, my way of interacting with them, the questions I would be asking, the compliments I would be giving. We want to give our subconscious clear directions. Be timeless. If we want to meet someone special, we want to visualize the kind of person we want to meet, not when or how we're going to meet him. Visualizing meeting our future spouse in 2 months is a recipe for disaster. We might either settle down for the wrong person to meet the self-imposed deadline, or we might give up too soon if the right person takes 3 months to come into our lives instead of 2. So we need to visualize what we want and have the humility to accept that we don't control when or how it comes into our lives. Be determined. Visualize how much you're enjoying all these people you're meeting right now and how easy and effortless it is. Don't visualize trying to meet people that you might sort of like and you hope it's kind of easy. No, just be determined. Our imagination is a safe place to rehearse things that scare us in the real world. So we become immune to these fears. Be ready. Every mental movie needs a title, so we can retrieve it from our shelf in any time we want to use it. For me, this was I love meeting new people. I'll just say this before walking into any social setting, and because I played that movie so many times, the title alone was all it took for me to get in the right mindset. Be selfless. Creating personal change takes significant energy, and it's hard to justify it if it only benefits us. We need to understand the positive impact our change will have on our families, our friends, and the world. This is the fuel that makes this transformation possible. Being more sociable was meaningful to me because I recognized that I could make everyone's day a little better and be there for people when they needed me. So this gave me a sense of purpose. Plus, when our goals are aligned with other people's, they'll help us achieve them because they'll benefit from our success too. Be patient. When I started visualizing being sociable, it felt unfamiliar because I had believed that I was shy for so many years and I had so much evidence to back this up. But if we're focused on evidence from the past, how can we possibly create a new reality in the future? The number one mistake we make as humans is demanding evidence before allowing ourselves to believe that something is possible. The belief, however, needs to come before the evidence. Ideas always come first. In fact, everything we see around us existed as an idea first. Take this camera. Before it could be produced in a factory, it was conceived as an idea. I'm using this camera now because someone was able to visualize something that they couldn't yet touch. We wouldn't expect this camera to magically appear without existing as an idea first. In the same way, we shouldn't expect evidence that we are sociable, for example, to show up before we believe there's a version of ourselves capable of being sociable. Remember that the subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what we do and what we imagine. When we rehearse in our mind being the person we want to be, we physically rewire the neural connections in our brain to become that person. This is why we visualize in the present, as if it's happening right now. We visualize how much fun we're having meeting people right now in this moment, not sometime in the future once we become sociable. The tree becomes a tree the moment we plant the seed, even if we can't see the tree yet. We wouldn't expect to see the tree before planting the seed. In the same way, we become sociable the moment we plant that seed, and we understand that it takes time for that seed to take the shape of a tree. Be calibrated. Please pay close attention to this one because it's absolutely crucial for visualization to work. You probably noticed that pessimistic people have all this proof that nothing ever works out for them, and optimistic people have all this proof that things always work out for them in the end. But have you ever wondered why it is that we always find what we're looking for? There's a part of our brain called the reticular activating system, or RAS. It's the size of our pinky, and it's located on the back of our brain. The RAS acts as a filter between our subconscious mind and our conscious mind. Our subconscious mind can process 40 million bits of data per second, but our conscious mind can only process 40 bits of data per second. That's 1 million times less. A RAS determines what information is relevant and allows it to enter our conscious awareness. And the rest is filtered out, and we're not even aware of it. You can see how this works right now in your own experience. Direct your attention to your feet. Feel that tingling sensation. This sensation wasn't in your conscious awareness a minute ago, but when you looked for it, your filter let it through. Your conscious attention is what made this experience real. When we're in a crowded room and somebody says our name, we turn around even though we weren't paying attention to the conversation, and we have no clue what they're even talking about. But our subconscious was registering the whole conversation and only deemed it relevant when somebody said our name, and that's when that conversation became conscious to us. The same happens when we buy a car. We drive it out of the lot and it seems like all of a sudden everyone is driving the same car. What actually happens is that our RAS is calibrated to look for the car we drive. We always find what we're looking for. If I believe I'm shy, I'll find evidence to prove it because I'm looking for it. And what's equally important, I'll overlook evidence that I'm sociable because my RAS isn't calibrated to notice it. A RAS is like a radio receiver. We decide what kind of music we want to listen to by tuning it to a specific frequency. When we do that, we are filtering out all the other frequencies. So we want to tune our RAS to look for confirmation of the things we visualize. Visualizing how much I appreciate the people I meet gives my RAS confirmation that I'm already living my new reality and calibrates it to keep looking for more confirmation of it. As we receive more confirmation, visualizing gets easier and becomes more genuine. These days, I love meeting new people. It's so self-evident that I don't need to visualize this anymore. It's who I am. When I started visualizing being sociable, it didn't feel genuine, so I recognized that there was resistance. I didn't ignore it, and I knew that it was there because my RAS had been calibrated to look for evidence that I was shy, and I was in the process of recalibrating it. Resistance is normal. Don't fight it. Just recognize that in the same way it takes time for a seed to become a tree, it takes time for a visualization to become a manifestation. Keep watering the soil. Keep visualizing. Do it every day for 14 days. And I guarantee you that the change will be evident. I've used this technique to improve every aspect of my life, and I know it works. But you have to do it every day for 14 days because you're in the process of overriding old habits and mental patterns with new ones. The main reason visualization doesn't work for some people is that they focus on what's not going well and what they don't have yet. So the more they focus on this, the more confirmation of it they find. Be proud of yourself for running 3 times last week. Don't beat yourself up for not running 4 days. Be grateful for the thousands of dollars you have in the bank instead of complaining about the millions you don't. When you feel proud of the 3 days you exercised last week, you rewire your brain to associate this pleasant feeling with this activity, and then you train your mind to seek more of it. If all you could see is the 4 days you didn't exercise, you create a negative feeling around this activity, and you'll tend to avoid it in the future because why try when nothing is ever good enough? When you're grateful for what you have, you train your ass to find more of it. When you appreciate the money you have and feel that abundance, you train your ass to look for new business opportunities, investment opportunities, ways to get promoted. But if you feel like you don't have enough, you train your ass to overlook the things and look for confirmation that you're broke instead. It might sound ridiculous to be grateful for having $20 in our account when we feel broke. But as long as we focus on how broke we are, we'll remain in that state. Whether we tune our ass to the frequency of abundance or lack, that's exactly what we'll find. When we appreciate the $20 we have, we calibrate our ass to find the next $20, $200, $2,000, $2 million. I can't stress enough how important this is. Maybe your career isn't everything you want it to be yet. Your body isn't as healthy as you'd like, or your relationship isn't as solid as you wish. But I bet there are aspects of your career that you appreciate, parts of your body that you like, and quality moments in your relationship. So focus on that. Start there and you'll notice that there's actually a lot to appreciate in your life. And as you start paying attention to the things, you'll find more of them. More solutions, less problems, more abundance, less lack. More happiness, less stress. There's a reason our conscious mind is asking for more. It knows that we haven't realized our full potential yet. It knows that there's more health, wealth, and happiness waiting for us to take it. But wishing for a better life isn't enough. We need to take the time to visualize and program our mind for success. The first step is committing to this 14-day challenge. Do that right now. Tell yourself you're committing to 60 seconds in the morning and 60 seconds at night every day for 14 days. I say 14 days because that's about how long it takes to master this skill. And I say 60 seconds because that's kind of the minimum amount of time we need to really get in the zone and start feeling these emotions. After 14 days, you'll probably want to keep going and go for longer, and that's great. But start with 60 seconds and 14 days so you make sure you start building that habit. So step 1, commit to 14 days. Step 2, take an hour for yourself to think about what you want from your life and what you want to visualize. Then go and download the 10 laws of visualization to help you guide you through this process. You can find it at www.mindhacks.tv/visualize. Step 3, print it and post it next to your bed so it's the first thing you do when you wake up. Don't skip this step. If you don't see it, you'll forget. If it's in front of you as soon as you wake up, you'll do it. The best time to visualize is as soon as we wake up and right before going to bed. This is when our brain waves are in the theta frequency range. The theta state is often called the gateway to the subconscious mind. We're between the dream world and the wake world. And this is when our subconscious is most open to our imagination. So visualize with your eyes closed and don't let the external world interfere with your imagination. Before going to bed, replay in your head anything that happened that day that confirms your new reality, and visualize more of it coming your way. This is a phenomenal way to let these new beliefs rewire our system as we sleep. This whole process only takes a few minutes a day. Just with like any new habit, it might feel a little weird at first until it becomes part of our routine. Don't let this stop you. Even if you're skeptical, do it. Consider it a personal challenge, an experiment, if you will. Do it for yourself, but also do it for everyone around you who will benefit from the new you, your coworkers, friends, family. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Ziki Muzio, and this is Mind Hacks TV. See you next week with a new Mind Hack. If this video helped you, please hit that like button below. If you believe it can help others, please go ahead and share it. If you want more tools to unlock your mind's potential, click here to subscribe to my channel. For more mind hacks, watch this video here or this one here. And find me on Instagram at mindhackstv.